So the video is about HDFC Focus 30 fund. It has been in existence from 17 September 2004. So the present fund manager is Roshi Jain. So she has taken over this fund from January 2022. It's almost like a 3 years. So the exit load is 1% if we are redeeming before 1 year. Obviously, any equity investment, the minimum time horizon has to be 5 years. The longer, the better. The benchmark is Nifty 500. The present AUM of the fund is like 18,559 crores. So the direct expense ratio is 0.65% and the regular expense ratio is 1.67%. The additional 1 percentage point, most of it will be going to the distributor and distributor. So in case you are going to an advisor or a distributor who is charging you 1%, you have to understand from them that why they are recommending this fund and how it suits your asset allocation and goal planning as well, or financial planning, right? So now let's look at the analysis of this fund. So we have compared across three indices, Sensex, Nifty 50 and Nifty 500. So obviously the first 3 years, even though we have made this comparison, it is not much of relevance. So we have to look from 5 to 10 years horizon. So on a median return basis, so the Nifty 500, Nifty 50 and Sensex has done better than focus 30 funds on a 5 year basis. But on a 7 year and a 10 year basis, the direct fund and even the regular fund has done better than the indices. So most of the performance, if you look at it, see again the negative return side as well. The negative returns are higher for the focus fund, both in direct and regular modes. So the zero negative instances are starting at 7 year time period, right? On the median returns as well, if you look at it, so the highest 10 year horizon, it is like 15.7%. Here it is like around 14.5% median for the regular funds. So Sensex Sensex has done around 11.85, 12%. Here it is 12.3, here 13.82. Approximately, they have done 3 percentage points better than the index. But the returns have not been very consistent. If you look at it on a 1, 2, 3, 5 year basis, somehow the index has done better. Nifty 500 has done better, right? So now let's look at the performance across different time horizon. So from 2014 to 2018, you look at it, 100 rupees invested would have shown 100% growth, right? On a Nifty 500, the absolute growth would have been 86%. So there is a slight overperformance, but that's because if somebody has invested in the beginning. But what if somebody has invested here at these points of time, right? Where 30% of the performance has come like in 6 years, in a 6 months time. Okay, 5, 6 months time. So from here, if you are looking at it, it's like a 60% of absolute return. Compare this with the indices, which have done better from here onwards. And even if you are looking at this point as well, the valley shape, so you are seeing a higher drawdown here, right? So probably there were more drawdowns. Only ones who have invested in the initial periods would have made a higher amount compared to the index, right? So from 2019 to today, again, if you look at the fund has actually underperformed till 2022, right? So it was pretty much same. If somebody has invested till here, the fund's performance has followed that of the index. Again, this is a COVID low. So from here on, it's the index which has done better than the fund, right? So, but overall, if you look at it in this 5 year horizon, they have delivered it over 200% return, absolute return. Compare this with the 145%. So it shows that you should not be fooled by the higher performances which can happen in the beginning and later the lower performance that has happened here in this case. In the indices case, it has happened here, right? So probably if you are somebody with a conviction, maybe if you are investing here more and here more, your returns would be stellar actually. So, but if somebody has invested in 2019 till 2022, his or her performance would be something similar. How has this fund manager done? Because there was a change in the fund manager from Feb 2022. Even if you look at the chart here, there has been some change, right? That divergence of fund has happened in 2022 only. Maybe it can be attributed to the fund manager who has been handling it. or else maybe the previous fund manager who has taken the decisions, and when he or she left, this fund manager has reaped the benefits. That's something which will be knowing only in the hindsight, right? So, but on a 3-year basis, this fund manager has done a stellar job. So on a 3-year basis, she got 100% absolute return. Compare this with the index, which has delivered like a 50% absolute return, right? So from 2014 to today, this fund has delivered very good returns, no doubt. But only thing is, if you look at it, there have been good amount of drawdowns as well, right? If somebody has entered here in this peak, so for the 5 years, pretty much the return would have been zero, right? Almost 20 till 2023, the 5-year return would have not been, it would be slightly higher than the, uh, it wouldn't be zero. It's on a positive side. Say, for example, 2018 January, it is at 2025. If you look at 2023 January, so this would be at 377, 378, right? So 378 from 250 to 378, it's a 40% absolute return in 5 years horizon. That is an something like a slightly less than 8% return only. If you are compounding it on a simple interest basis, maybe it is at 8%. Again, the main thing you have to understand is that the past performance does not indicate the future performance, right? And at the same time, past underperformance doesn't is not a proof enough to say that the fund will underperform in the future. So that's the reason why you have to take a call when you are investing in a mutual fund. You have to look at the underlying as well. That is like what stocks they are investing, how their thesis has been playing out. You have to look over a period of time. And if an advisor or a distributor is recommending you this fund, probably you have to ask them these questions. So this video is for an educational purpose only. It is neither a recommendation to buy nor sell the asset class in discussion. Thank you.